awareness. So back on the capkeeper.
Copy, Steve. For Steve and Woody.
Jerry, just verifying there's no preferred order on the M bolts, correct?
No preferred order. You can start with whichever one you want first. Let me know when you want settings.
Okay, give me 1 second.
And Steve, for your awareness, we are tracking that M34 had one turn hand started on it. If you started any other bolts, just let us know.
All right, and so the first one is M21, is that correct? Right underneath the stanchion?
31.
M31? Yeah, so I started that here as well with one turn.
And James, I started a few as well, so Steve can call them out.
I'll call them. I can see which ones they are.
Yeah.
Okay, that works well for us.
All right.
I copy that M31 already has one turn on it. Steve, your settings are Bravo 5, clockwise 2.
Bravo 5, clockwise 2. Go to do a quick cow. Oh. Quick cow, cow pass. Good lights. And 39.9 volts. And so you got the settings again, Jenny?
Bravo 5, clockwise 2.
Yeah, Bravo 5, clockwise 2.
You'll be driving these bolts such that the black line is flush. It'll be to torque. Expect 11 to 14 turns.
That's 11, 14 turns flush and 2 torque.
Good words.
Right.
For both of you, we are 3 hours and 20 minutes into this EVA, tracking a time of 7 hours and 30 minutes. Limiting consumable is Woody's battery, and we are around 45 minutes ahead of timeline. Great job.
M31.
NASA astronaut Steve Bowen, who is EV1 today, is currently working to drive the 8 bolts to fully secure iROSA to the mounting bracket.
Torque of 22, 7 turns, green light, and was that a black line flush call?
And there's a black line to the mount. Yes.
James, my green reel is locked to my red reel, picking up my yellow hook.
Copy. That'll end up on your green reel locked. I'll take your checks.
You are currently seeing views from NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg's helmet cam. He is working to swap some tethers.
Copy. That's a good config,
Reel
Woody.
itself. Okay, and I think my next thing is to reposition APFR to clocking 6.
Good words.
He's now about to start working on repositioning the articulating portable foot restraint on the robotic arm.
You can both see it here, but we're heading.
Meanwhile, NASA astronaut Steve Bowen continues to work on driving the final 8 bolts.
Okay, looks like M32, 33, and 34 all hand started.
We copy.
And verifying settings. Bravo 5, clockwise 2.
Good words.
And M32's in work.
Copy. M32, drive until black line flush to torque.
Cam spray PFR.
Go.
Right. Repositioned. Clocking 6. Papa Papa, Fox 6. Which now can to be depressed. Good pull tips test. Collars black on black. And ingress aid is low profile.
Copy. Good install, Woody. You can give M1 a go for the IEA back off, and we will have you translate back to the mounting bracket.
All right.
Good green light, 1.31 turns, and torque of 21.1 for M31, M32.
Copy. That is a good bolt for M32. You can move on to M33.
That's in work.
You're seeing live views of Steve Bowen working to drive the final 8 bolts. He is currently on the third of 8.
You have a go to the back off.
And we copy that all the tethers are being removed from the and the APFR reconfigured and ready to maneuver to the park position. Brakes are coming off.
Copy, brakes off. Keep on behind to your right.
All right, I got a good green light. Got 11.4 turns, 21.4 foot-pounds on 33.
Copy, Steve. That's a good bolt for M33. We'll have you move on to the next one.
All right, M34 is in work.
Copy. M34.
All right, a good green light. 11.1, 11.5 foot-pounds, 11.5 turns and 22.0 foot-pounds.
And Steve, I copy green light and that bolt is driven, but I need you to read back the torque and the turns you cut out.
Torque was 22.0, turns is 11.5.
Then Woody arm is starting motion.
Copy, Sultan.
Copy. That's a good bolt, Steve.
All right.
You can move on.
35 was not hand started.
Okay. Copy. M35 has not been hand started. You have the same settings.
All right, starting.
NASA astronaut Steve Bowen is now halfway through installing the 8 mounting bracket bolts. He has 4 to go and has completed 4 of them. Meanwhile, NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg is currently translating over to the mounting bracket.
I got a green light. The sun is my eyes.
And Steve, is it
4.2 turns and 22.0 foot-pounds. Yes, Woody?
Is it useful for me to socket swap and help drive these,
Sure,
or?
why don't you just take my PCT and do the clock straight. Otherwise, I have to run over your side.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that.
We're okay with you doing that, but Steve, say again the number of turns for M35.
12.2.
Copy 12.2, that is a good bolt. Then if you transfer your PGT to Woody, we can drive the remaining bolts. We're looking for M36 through 38.
That should be Bravo 5.
Let me pass it back under here.
Okay. I got it. I got it.
Okay. I've just got to get in position.
No, that's fine.
And Stephen, Woody, arm will be in motion.
Copy, Sultan.
Okay.
NASA astronaut Steve Bowen just handed off the pistol grip tool to Woody Hoberg, who's going to help him drive the final 3 bolts.
All right. See what we got. I got 26.29 turns, green light, 21.9 foot-pounds.
Hey, you mustn't have gone back out. That's double. So subtract the turn, Eddie, from the last bolt.
We're just checking on that bolt.
By my memory, that's 14 turns and a good green light and good torque.
It's a good bolt. We can move on. That was M36. We're ready to move on to 37 and 38.
Can we do 37? No, I mean 38.
Yeah,
I'll do 37.
In a good spot. Let's
Okay.
see. Let me cycle this out because I bumped it. Okay. Bravo. 5 clockwise, 2 is 7.
Good setting.
Back to 0?
Yep.
All right.
Right. Like 37, 20. Correction. 12.5 turns, green light, 21.9 foot-pounds.
Good bolts. You can move on to M38.
NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg is now working to drive the final of the 8 bolts to fully secure the International Space Station rollout solar array to the mounting bracket. After that's complete, EV1 or Steve Bowen will move to a deployment viewing position, while EV2, who is Woody Hoberg, will release the final 2 bolts holding IROSA in an undeployed position.
Trying to find a position where I'm not sideloading the bolt. 1 sec.
We copy.
That's why that one's so awkward.
This one's a little awkward. Let's see.
Yeah, I think you end up sliding a little tight a little bit.
We're good.
I see it.
Okay, M38. We had 11.93 turns, green light, 22.2 foot-pounds. There you go, Steve.
Yeah. So let me put my hands off here.
We copy, Woody. That is a good bolt. We just need the confirmation the black line is flush because we cannot see it in your HECA.
Yep, black line flush. Trying to point at it.
Copy. Great work. We are complete with our M bolts. Steve, you can stow your PGT, and we'll have you positioned to observe the first 5 magnets snap together when we deploy. Woody, you need to get in position on the base of the mounting bracket for R9 and R10.
Okay, getting in position for R9, R10.
And I'm getting in position to watch. Super.
Good words. Woody, as a reminder, this is a Bravo 7 setting. You can use the scoop on the base of the mounting bracket to brace yourself.
All right, I see that. Thank you.
All right, I am in a good position.
Perfect. Thanks, Steve.
Copy, Steve. Steve, agree you're in a good position. Woody, I see your PGT out. Warning for both of you prior to releasing the deployment launch restraint bolts. Position to stay clear of deploying our ROSA blankets. You will both be in a good position.
All right, that sounds great, Jan. And I have Bravo 7. Set. I need a reminder. Is it clockwise or counterclockwise? Counterclockwise.
Bravo 7, counter 2, and I'll have you hold here, Woody.
Okay, copy that. Bravo 7, counter 2 is set.
All right, I'm in a good position.
Good words.
NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg is standing by to release the final 2 bolts holding the ISS rollout solar array in an undeployed position.
You are going to release R9 and R10. The white line will appear when they are fully released. Expect 17 to 20 turns. iROSA will deploy after the second bolt is released.
All right, I copy. Starting with R9.
Once these final 2 bolts are released, the iROSA will deploy over the next 6 to 10 minutes.
To give us a better view.
Trying to figure out how to do that without falling off the edge of station here.
Copy, we understand. That looks great.
Hold on, I'm lost my position.
White line visible. I counted 17 turns on R9.
Copy, 17 turns on R9. Continue to stand by, Woody.
The first of 2 restraint bolts has been fully released.
Hold on. That last adjustment, I just couldn't stop it. How's that? Is that better? Speed up a little bit.
Steve, we know it's tough. There's not much to hold on to out there. Trying to get you some additional words.
Trying different positions.
Steve, as long as you can see, we'll be comfortable with it. Heck is desired, but your eyes are enough for us.
All right, well, try this then.
Copy.
All right, how's that?
All right, great work. Steve, if you are in a stable position, we're happy with your view. Woody, you are go to release R10.
Copy, go for R10. Starting turns. Turns down.
.30 seconds to a short handover.
I count 20 turns so far. Going to continue.
You might have to wiggle it, Woody.
Gotcha.
There it goes.
The second of the 2 restraint bolts has been fully released, and IROSA will begin deploying over the next 6 to 10 minutes.
Short handover.
Copy.
We are now in a brief but expected handover period, and will regain signal of those beautiful views of the space station in about 10 seconds.
All right, Houston's back with you.
Welcome back.
Woody, you are staying exactly where you are. Well done on the final bolt to release IROSA, and Steve will take your report.
It looks good. Looks like it's stretching out nicely, and everything seems to be lining up. How does it look to you? You have a good view now.
Copy. We don't have video back yet, but we will shortly. We appreciate the words.
All right, I'll stand by.
We have our video back. Everything is looking great. I have 2 cautions for you, Woody.
You can now see live views of the International Space Station rollout solar array as it begins to unfurl as the space station flies over the coast of the southwest United States.
Lateral load. This is 5 less than before.
Okay, I copy. Thank you. Be cautious.
Sounds good to us. Everything's looking really good to us. Again, well done, you two. Woody, again, you have to stay put, but Steve, you can get moving if you want to. We're still well ahead of schedule, so you can stay and look a little longer if you prefer it, but your next step is to pick up your green hook.
All right, I'm head back and pick up my green hook. Yeah.
Copy. Woody, if we can, we'd love to adjust your HECA view a little bit. If you could pitch back at all for us, we'd appreciate it.
Yep, you got it.
Thank you.
Woody Hoberg is continuing to monitor the IROSA as it deploys. Meanwhile, Steve Bowen is translating back to the IROSA carrier to reconfigure the carrier beams that previously held the upright IROSA. These beams will need to be rotated out of the way to allow access to the lower IROSA, which will be installed on next week's EVA on June 15th.
All right, green hook going to red reel. That's complete.
Copy, Steve.
Let's slow down. Let's get some pictures of Woody here.
Sounds great.
Once fully deployed, the IROSA, or International Space Station Rollout Solar Array, will measure 60 feet long by 20 feet wide and will shade a little more than half of the original array. Each new IROSA will produce more than 20 kilowatts of electricity, and once installed will enable a 30% increase in power production over the station's current arrays.
Hopefully those came out. We'll see.
Copy. Steve, whenever you're ready, you're headed to the FSE.
Heading to the FSE. On my way.
Copy. I have more cautions and warnings for you when you're ready.
All right, give me 1 second. Clear this. I'll be ready.
Let me know.
All right, I'm ready to copy.
Steve, warning and a reminder, grapple shafts and curved coupling are no-touch zones. No sudden movements, quick grabs on the FSE. Wait until motion dampens out before imparting loads on the FSE. Don't simultaneously impart loads into the FSE. This is for when Woody is also ready to translate. And do not contact the IROSA blanket.
And I copy all.
The International Space Station Rollout Solar Array, or IROSA, continues to deploy on the starboard forward truss connected to the 1A power channel of the space station as the space station flies over South Dakota.
I do not have a fair lead listed for you, Steve, and no green hook drop. Let me just confirm.
Okay. All right, that's fine. No.
Yeah, I can confirm that now, Steve. There is no action for a fair lead or green hook drop. You are just translating directly onto the FSE from the port CETA card. So do not take the POA path.
Not take the POA path. All right, I will do that.
Affirm, different path than last time.
Probably a good view there, Jenny.
Affirm.
I think my first bolts are C7, C8, correct?
Affirm, that's right. You're going to be at stanchion alpha, and this is a Bravo 7 setting, so you might need to get in a better brace position.
All right, I'll put that in work.
Copy, let me know when you're ready for settings.
Yeah, bye.
Woody, we are nearly complete. More words for you in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
All right, look for settings for C7, C8.
Bravo 7, counter 2.
Bravo 7, counter 2.
Good readback. You'll be releasing C7 and C8. Expect 8 to 11 turns.
8 to 11 turns, C7, C8.
Good words.
All right, here comes C7.
Hey, James, it looks to me like motion is stopped.
Yep, we're just double checking that we can confirm a good deploy, Woody. What would help us is if you could confirm the bottom 5 magnets on both booms. We don't need a heck of you, we just need you to see that the magnets have snapped together.
Be looking.
11.5 and C7 is topped out, moving to C8.
Copy, C7 released. You go for C8.
And James, I'm thinking I might need to move to see those. Do you agree with that, or am I missing something? Magnets.
Affirm, Woody, you will have to move and you're go to translate right now.
Right now, you're seeing views of NASA astronaut Steve Bowen as he works to release the beam restraint bolts. He has already released one of them and has a couple more to go.
And 10.6 turns.
Copy, C8 is released. Steve, stow your PGT and translate to Stanchion Bravo.
Translate to Stanchion Bravo.
Steve, a delta to your plan will have you continue translation past Stanchion Bravo to Stanchion Charlie because we have enough time for a small efficiency here.
Okay, going Charlie.
Jenny, yeah, I do see the first 5 magnets on the right side engaged.
Copy, Woody, that sounds good.
And left side, I see it as well.
Copy, thank you, Woody. With that, we can release the blanket tensioner bolts, R11 and R12, on the ISS inboard side of IROSA.
Okay, 11 and 12, Alpha 1,
Alpha 1, counter 2.
A successful deployment of the International Space Station Rollout Solar Array, or IROSA, has been confirmed as the space station flies over Quebec, Canada. NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg is now working to release blanket tensioner bolts. After he releases these 2 bolts, it will allow the IROSA blankets to become tensioned.
Good settings.
thank you, Jam, starting with R11.
Copy, R11.
Meanwhile, NASA astronaut Steve Bowen is working on a get-ahead task to release some additional beam restraint bolts.
Okay, and it's Stanchion Bravo. What would you like?
Retrieve the pit pin from the stowage location, push the C1 bolt into the can, and install that pit pin.
Correct, I'm actually at Charlie. It's Charlie, right? Bypass Bravo?
Affirm, you should be at Stanchion Charlie.
Let me back at Bravo. Thank you.
Since I got 5 turns on R11, it popped out with a white band, and I saw the tension on the array.
Copy, 5 turns, R11 released. You can move on to R12.
Starting turns. About 4 turns on R12. I saw the tension. Got the good white band at the bottom of R12.
Copy, R12 fully released. You can stow your PGT and verify all the MLI on the mod kit is in place. We want no metal struts or collar bolts showing.
NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg just released both of the tensioner bolts that allowed the IROSA blankets to become tensioned. He's now going to work on cleaning up the mod kit worksite.
I would not describe the bolt as having popped out. Is that expected?
We're checking, Woody. Thanks for the go back.
And pit pin is installed in Charlie 1.
Copy, Steve. Your next step is to release Charlie 4 and Charlie 3. So 2 additional beam bolts. This is a Bravo 7 setting, so I'll let you get in position.
All right, give me a second.
All right, Woody, I can confirm that we are happy with both R11 and R12, so we need you to verify all the MLI on the mod kit is in place.
Copy all. Jams, that's in work. Right side is looking good.
Copy right side.
Bravo 7, counterclockwise 2.
Affirm, Bravo 7, counter 2. You will be releasing these bolts. Expect 8 to 11 turns.
All right. Starting with Charlie 4.
Copy, Charlie 4.
All right, Charlie 4 is done. But, 12 turns.
Copy, Charlie 4.
Charlie 3.
Charlie 4 is released. I need you to repeat the turn count.
It was 12. I let it run a little bit longer there if I needed to.
Copy. You can continue on to Charlie 3.
Charlie 3 is in work.
Jams, the MLI is looking good. I neatened up a couple spots, and I'm ready to retrieve the scoop.
Right.
NASA astronaut Steve Bowen is now working to release the second of 2 beam restraint bolts in his get-ahead task.
Copy, Charlie 3 released. Steve, you can stow your PGT, and we'll have you translate to stanchion Bravo.
Go back to Bravo.
Woody, power your HECA on.
Copy, Jams.
All right, and Woody, we are happy with the MLI current config, and we do not need a HECA scan. So you're exactly right. You can remove the square scoop from the mounting bracket along with the adjustable tethers and stow it in the crew lock bag. You can close up this crew lock bag and stow it on your BRT.
Copy all. In work.
And we do not need a crew lock bag inventory. Lucky you.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, stanchion Bravo.
Copy, Steve. You will be retrieving the pit pin from the stowage location and stowing the C2 bolt.
All right, pit pin Charlie 2.
Good words.
Pin Charlie 2 is installed.
Copy, pit pin installed on Charlie 2. We need you to connect a RET to the adjustable equipment tether D-ring to the beam handrail stanchion.
Understand, get my adjustable ready to attached to the stanchion. Okay, that'll be in work.
Okay, copy.
All right, just to be clear, Jane, you want the ret attached to me or to something else?
There should be a RET to an adjustable equipment tether D-ring, and that adjustable equipment tether hook should be on the closest beam handrail stanchion to you. So you have an adjustable attached to the beam and the D-ring attached to a RET, and that RET is on your mini workstation.
That's what I needed to hear. Okay, so I got an adjustable one hook going to stanchion. All right, I'm going to configure all my other adjustable.
Copy, Steve. We're going to have you hold here. We're going to get Steve on the SSE with you, and then we will move forward with our beam release.
All right, I'm waiting on Woody. Sounds good.
Yeah. We will have you get your
I don't often say that much, so.
All right. We'll have you get your PGT out. We're not releasing any bolts yet. Again, we're waiting to do that, but this will be a Bravo 7 setting to release Charlie 5 and Charlie 6, so you can get ready for that. You have some time.
Okay.
Woody,
Hi, Jazz. I'm translating inboard.
Affirm. I was about to tell you. Your next step is to press the starboard CETA cart brake release, and then you will be translating to the port CETA cart.
All right, you got it.
While you're translating, Woody, I have big picture words for both of you.
Great. Jazz, do I need both brakes or just one of the two on each CETA cart? I'll get them both.
You can get both. I just confirmed you need one of the two on both CETA carts. Just took us a minute.
Okay, copy. Thanks. There's good press on the starboard side.
Copy. Woody, you are going to be dropping your green hook on S3 handrail 3011 and then stowing crew lock bag M on 3217.
011 and 3217. Okay, thanks, James.
Good read back. Let me know when you're ready for those big picture
Looking
words.
for that.
I'm ready.
Okay. We are now 4 hours into this 7-hour, 30-minute EVA. Limiting consumable has not changed. That is the battery on Woody, and we are still 1 hour ahead of timeline. Obviously, we've deployed iROSA, so great job to you both. We are getting to the point where we are going to stow the FSE beams and remove that FOD. If we have time, we're going to do some get-aheads and release the ARDs for the next EVA.
That sounds good. That sounds real good. Thanks, James. Okay, I found 3011. That was my Green Hook location, correct?
Affirm.
Copy. And then 3217 for the bag. Got it.
Go ahead and have
Good
a
work.
chat with. All right, Jams. I'm ready to go up onto the FSE.
Copy. Ensure you go via the POA path. Fair lead on MBS handrail 8400.
8400. Copy that.
Affirm.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Right now you're seeing views from NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg's helmet camera. He is working to translate over to the carrier beam where NASA astronaut Steve Bowen is currently. Once they're both over there, the crew members will work together to release the bolts holding the beams in place, and then they will rotate them out of the way and secure them back down. The spacewalkers continue to remain about an hour ahead of schedule. After they release the beam, there's a couple of get-ahead tasks that they can work on prior to ingress.
All right, am I heading to Alpha, Jams?
Affirm.
Copy. So Steve and my tethers will... That should be okay. Looks good.
Affirm.
Night Alpha.
Woody, your next step is to perform a socket swap. Steve was able to already release C3 and C4, so we'll just take the socket swap and then move on to rotating the beam.
Okay, copy, socket swap. Now, I will need a socket caddy to do this, correct? I only have... Oh, no, disregard. I have an extra pit pin right.
A-firm, you're going to use your pit pin. So you'll remove the 6-inch wobble from your PGT and stow it in your trash bag with the pit pin, and the 2-inch that's currently, I believe, in your trash bag will be stowed on the PGT.
Copy all.
And Jay, do you want me to release one of the C5 or C6?
A-firm, Steve, you can release either one. Bravo 7, counter 2 are your settings.
Bravo 7, counterclockwise 2.
Good words.
C6 didn't work. That's complete. And I got 11 turns.
Copy, 11 turns, and that was C6.
That was C6.
Copy, we'll hold here.
I agree.
Okay, Jenny, I've got the 5/8 2-inch rigid on the PGT.
Copy, I'll take a pull test.
Already complete.
Okay. So when Steve releases this final bolt, C5, Steve, you will rotate the zenith end of the beam toward Woody.
Understand?
And you'll be temp stowing the beam in the stowage location, which is parallel to the blankets with the handrails facing the POA. You'll need 2 adjustable equipment tethers to do this.
Okay, and would you have an adjustable available quickly?
Yes.
Okay, we'll be ready to go.
All right, we are a go when you are ready.
All right, release from C5.
Copy, C5.
All right, 5 is complete. Complete, so I my PGT down a little bit. Okay, Woody, here it comes.
Ground copies.
All right, retrieving my adjustable.
NASA astronaut Steve Bowen just released the final beam restraint bolts. Steve Bowen and Woody Hoberg will now work together to rotate the beams out of the way and secure them back down.
Still installed. Bolts installed. What bolts?
Disregard, sorry. Where they went?
These carrier beams were being reconfigured. They previously held the upright AROSA, and they needed to be rotated out of the way to allow access to the lower IROSA, which will be installed on next week's EVA on June 15th.
I've got it.
I've got an adjustable on it. I can cinch this side. We won't cinch it down, but when you get yours on there, when we come back, we'll cinch them down and make them snug.
Got an adjustable
Houston
on
concurs. That's correct.
And this is going to 0012.
Copy, and Steve's exactly right. We'll cinch this down later on. What we need to make sure of right now is that the beam is clear of the nadir upper support beam, so that's the one by you, Woody.
Okay, stand by. It's clear. No interference there.
Copy. Steve, you can release your RET. I understand that the beam is tethered via 2 adjustables.
All right, I'm releasing my RET.
A caution for both of you.
Good adjustable on my side.
Copy. A caution for both of you. Now that this beam is tied down, do not exceed 30 foot-pounds on the temp stowed beam. And again, a reminder for the FSE, we don't want to simultaneously impart loads into it, so we will alternate if we need to translate around the same time.
Copy.
Copy.
We are in another brief but expected handover period and will regain signal shortly.
Houston's back with you after a short handover. We will need Woody to translate to stanchion Delta, and Steve will need to translate to stanchion Charlie. But again, please alternate your translations.
Okay.
What, are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Then go ahead and tell me when you're there.
Okay, going to Delta.
Good words. Woody, once you're there, you'll attach a mini workstation RET to the closest beam handrail stanchion.
Copy. All right, I'm at Delta, putting that mini workstation RET in work.
All right, I'm going to start my translation.
Copy both.
Sounds great, Steve. Mini workstation RET is down.
Woody, once you have that RET down, you'll be readying your PGT.
Thanks, James.
All right, Woody. What will be my PGT setting when it swings over here?
So that was for Woody. Then your setting is Bravo 7, counter 2.
Bravo 7, counter 2 is set.
All right. And when it gets here, what will it be?
It'll
Drive the 20 turns.
also be Bravo 7. You'll just be clockwise too for
clockwise.
For Steve.
Okay, understand.
All right, I'm ready to drive C9.
Copy. You're releasing C9. Expect 8 to 11 turns.
Copy and work. I counted 9.5 and it popped out. Ready for C10.
Copy. C9 released. Your go for C10. About a minute until a short handover.
Copy, starting turn C10. C10 popped out 9 turns.
Office, and we've learned something new. There are actually 38 counts against the president, including the unlawful retention of defense information, which is an Espionage Act charge. There are also charges of obstruction and conspiracy. This is the first